Students, family members, friends, faculty, and guests throughout the world, welcome to Northeastern State University's Fall 2020 Commencement for the Graduate College and all graduate students. My name is Debbie Landry, and I serve as Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Tonight, in addition to our fall candidates for graduation, we recognize spring and summer graduates who have chosen to participate in this ceremony. All spring and summer graduates were also recognized during a virtual ceremony in May. We particularly want to welcome guests and family members who are watching through our live streaming service. At this time, we ask those within the event center to rise for the National Anthem, sung by Michaelin Reyes-Sosi, a music education major at NSU. Michaelin will be accompanied by the NSU Brass Quintet, Timmy Caputo, trumpet, Jackson Washburn, trumpet, Denario Schultz, horn, Lily Lewis, trombone, and Dylan Ward, tuba. Miss Jamie Combs, a faculty member in the special education program, will serve as interpreter for this ceremony.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It is now my honor to introduce Northeastern State University's 19th president, Dr. Steve Turner, who will extend his greetings.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you. To your families, let me say we're glad that you could join us tonight. We're sorry that you can't be with us, but we know that you're here in spirit and that you're connecting on live stream. To the graduates, master's candidates for 2020, I'm always pleased to be at commencement. It's absolutely the highlight of my year, of our year, because it's a grand celebration. But to you, I say thank you for persevering, for being flexible, because this has been a year unlike any other that any of us experienced. So I'm proud of you. So thank you for doing your part. I do want to welcome each of you, and including our families that are live streaming, to our second of 5 commencement ceremonies for the fall 2020 semester. To our master's graduates from the College of Education, College of Business Technology, Greg Wadley College of Science and Health Professions, and the College of Liberal Arts, on behalf of the NSU family, I also say welcome, and we're so pleased that you're here. You can look around and you can see the beautiful flowers. You can see the setup. There were people that greeted you. There were ushers. There are people with cameras. There are people with sound equipment. Interpreters are here. Police officers are here. There are parking attendants. What I'm saying is there are a lot of folks that have are volunteering their time tonight and tomorrow for 5 distinct ceremonies. And I would like for us, if we could, to applaud and say thank you. If you're one of our volunteers, one of the staff folks that have helped organize not only tonight but the other 3, raise your hand. You'll see people up in the television studios. But let's say thank you for their effort to get us here safely tonight. I expect tonight, candidates, as you sit here, there's someone that you have in mind, someone or some persons that have made a significant impact in your life. You're not here tonight really necessarily by everything that you've done alone. There are those folks that you can look back, and often if you think about those 5 most influential people in your life, there's going to be some family members, but there's also going to be a teacher. So tonight I want to, for you to say thanks to your family members, those that have loved you when they couldn't like you, those that have supported you, those that care about your successes in the past and going forward. But let's do a wave and a shout out and make as much noise as possible to thank our families tonight for their support. Thank you, families. Yeah, they really make a difference, don't they? We are proud of the NSU history when it comes to accepting the call from our country in times when our military needed us. It's an amazing history about the number of students, faculty, and staff that have served when America called. I expect tonight there are veterans in the room. And so what I would ask you to do, if you have served or you are serving in one of the branches of the armed forces, I'd ask you to stand at this time so that we can recognize you appropriately with applause. All veterans, please stand. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Usually on the platform we have several other guests and they get introduced. With social distancing, we only have individuals on the platform that have a speaking role. But I do want to introduce 4 people. One person you've already heard from. These are the cabinet members or the vice presidents that each of the divisions that they lead, 4 divisions on campus that keep the institution moving forward. And they have done a remarkable job and with all their tireless work, long hours in a COVID world. So I want to introduce them tonight. Again, you met Dr. Landry, Debbie Landry, who's the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Landry. To my left, we have behind you, you can spin around, we have Dr. Jared Freeman, Vice President of Student Affairs. Good evening. We have, next to him, we have Mr. Dan Mayberry, who is the Vice President of University Relations. And then just down is Ms. Christy Lansaw, who's the Vice President for Administration and Finance. So we appreciate them and what they do to keep the institution moving forward. I want to say now to each of you, to the master's candidates, some from May of 2020, some from December. What I would say to you is that you know firsthand that almost everything is different since COVID-19 made its appearance in our state on March 7th. Different is not always better. You've experienced it in your day-to-day interactions. You've experienced with sometimes the way class material is delivered. You've experienced at Thanksgiving where if you're like me and you have an older parent that is vulnerable, you don't get to see, you don't get to spend time with. We're here tonight with you to express our appreciation and gratitude, but it's different. So different is not always better. But what I would say to you is the coronavirus has taken away many of our normal activities, but it cannot take away your accomplishments, nor does it steal our zeal to recognize and to celebrate your accomplishments. May graduates will recall decades from now that they were the first ever virtual graduates of NSU. December graduates, many of you, someday will tell your great-great-grandchildren that you were the masked graduate. It is what it is. It's where we are. And we know that better days ahead, but thank you for what you've done and accomplished. All of you have overcome difficulties not experienced in our nation or our state since 1918, the Spanish flu. You can go back and you'll realize that in that pandemic, about 7,000 Oklahomans died. So there's no script for what we're doing now because it's been more than a century ago. What I do know is that you are strong, you're tenacious, and you're committed. My hope and prayer is that you'll do great things when you leave here. You will embrace the responsibilities that you have, you'll do well, and that you'll do your part to keep others safe and healthy. I'm so proud of you. Lastly, I mentioned your families as they've had a role. I would also say that as Oklahoma's immersive or experiential learning institution of higher learning, that every interaction matters. There have been staff that have made a difference in your life and in your education. However, there's no greater group of individuals that have had an impact on your education than those that spend more time with you than anyone else, and that would be our faculty. So tonight, I also say to the faculty, thank you for your role, your contributions. And on behalf of the NSU family, welcome. We're so glad that you're here.
Students, faculty from the Graduate College are seated behind you and are here to share this moment with you. Our faculty bring Northeastern State University statewide, regional, national, and international recognition. More importantly, they care about our students and their success. Please join me in expressing our appreciation to the outstanding NSU faculty. Faculty, would you please stand? Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, we wish to recognize outstanding students at Northeastern State University. Will Anna Turner please come forward to the platform? The Graduate College has selected Anna Turner as the Fall 2020 Outstanding Graduate Student. Anna is from Broken Arrow and is graduating with her Master of Education degree in Mathematics Education. Anna's capstone research, Making Meaning, Implementing Authentic Design in a Developmental Mathematics Classroom, explores concepts of authentic teaching and assessment in the critical area of developmental mathematics education. With more than 20 years teaching experience, her passion for theory-based learning and curriculum design are impactful and beneficial to not only her, but her students and her colleagues and teachers across the state. Anna, please come forward and receive your medal from President Turner. Thank you. Let's provide one more round of applause for Anna. Our final recognition is for students with grade point average honors. Graduate honors students wear combined green, silver, and gold cords, and these students have distinguished themselves by earning an overall GPA of 4.0. Members of Alpha Chi, a national honor society for students in the upper 10% of their class, also wear a blue and green cord. The names of the Fall 2020 Master's Honor graduates are in your program. These students will be recognized individually as they cross the stage. Please join me in recognizing our Fall 2020 Master's Honor students. Honor graduates, please stand. Thank you. Please be seated.
It's a pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Eric Proctor, Senior Vice President of Lending at First Oklahoma Bank. While a history teacher at Owasso High School, Eric was elected to the Oklahoma House of Representatives, defeating a 10-year incumbent. He served 6 terms and was the Assistant Democratic Leader for 5 years, ranking member of the Appropriations and Budget Committee, and served on the Energy, Veterans, Banking, Pensions, Transportation, and Education Committees. In 2011, the Oklahoma Public Employees Organization recognized Eric with its Legislator of the Year award, and he was named one of Tulsa's 40 under 40 in 2013. After receiving his Bachelor's of Arts degree in Political Science from NSU in 2003, he completed his master's degree in public administration from the University of Oklahoma and earned a diploma of banking and finance from the Stonier Graduate School of Banking at the University of Pennsylvania. This fall, he was recognized as one of NSU outstanding young alumni. Please join me in welcoming a friend of NSU and our commencement speaker, Mr. Eric Proctor.
Thank you, President Turner. Between the previous ceremony and this ceremony, I took some time to walk around Seminary Hall and to walk through campus. Tahlequah really is a special place. It's a place where I gained a lot of experience, gained a lot of knowledge, but most importantly, gained a lot of friends that are still lifelong friends of mine that I see on a regular basis and impacted my world in ways that I didn't ever think were possible when I came here the first time around. So I'm very grateful, Northeastern State, and was reminded about how much so just a little bit ago, taking a stroll around campus by myself and reflecting. I know someday when you come back to this special place and you do that, you'll have the same experience. Congratulations, graduates. This year has been one of the most challenging years that our country has faced in generations, probably maybe since the greatest generation. And you have made your way through, and you have overcame. And my hope is that you will take that skill that you have learned and be able to transfer it into your lives and be able to tackle just about anything that you come accomplished with. If you can graduate during this year, there's many, many things that you can do. I've been trying to think back over the last few days and few weeks since I was asked to speak about the commencement speaker when I graduated from Northeastern State University. I have no idea who they were. Trying to remember something that they had said, have no idea what they said. And I imagine when you get close to 20 years from your graduation like I am, and you're looking back, you'll probably not remember me, and you'll probably not remember much of what I said. So rather than leave you with some clever sayings or a long-winded speech about reaching for the stars and living your dreams, I want to give you a call to action, very appropriate for this year. Live your lives in such a way that others are able to obtain their dreams. Service is the rent we pay for the space that each of us occupies. None of us are here today solely based on anything that we have done on our own and solely based on pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. I'm not saying that you haven't worked hard. You have. I'm not saying that you have not put in the long nights and tackled many difficulties that you encounter in obtaining a degree from Northeastern State University. You have. What I am saying is that somewhere along the way, someone helped you. I know that was my case. Maybe it was parents like my parents, both of whom were public educators, my father who worked as a barber on the weekends, or my mom who was a mechanic at Walmart on the weekends, to make their son's pathway towards the American dream a little bit easier. Or maybe it was a teacher or a professor or a sibling or a friend or a pastor or Sunday school teacher that helped you through a dark time or through a valley. See, my friends, we all need each other. That's become more clear this year than ever before. No one is an island unto yourself. There is nothing wrong with picking yourself up by the bootstraps, but we all have to remember the people who gave us the boots. And even more importantly than that is that we remember that there are many in our society that don't have boots at all. Graduates of 2020, you need to be the ones that hand them out. You see, what makes America great isn't each of the 320 million of us as individuals. What makes America great is our diversity and what we have and will continue to accomplish together. In this country, the most wealthiest country in the history of the world, everybody should get a shot at the American dream. Dedicate your lives to ensuring your neighbors get that shot. Dedicate yourselves to answering that call from Scripture that Christ said was the second greatest commandment. It's so simple, yet so powerful. 3 small words that have become clear this year more than ever. Love thy neighbor. In the age of greed is good, 24-hour news cycles which profit from amplifying our differences, leaders who seek to divide us rather than unite us, and a pandemic that's destroying our health and showing more than ever the inequalities in our economy. It's more important now than we've seen in many generations that each of us dedicate our lives towards loving each other, loving our neighbors, and serving them. My grandfather, who raised me from the time I was 4 until I went to college here, worked every day until he was 75 as a barber. And he taught me, as I'm sure many of your parents and grandparents taught you, to leave the woodpile a little higher than you found it. See, that greatest generation of Americans conquered adversity too. And they're a good pathway and a good map for us to follow. They didn't conquer the poverty of the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, the grapes of wrath, and fascist dictators who threatened our world in World War II by going it alone. They accomplished amazing things by working together, giving people a hand up through the policies of the New Deal and the sacrifices of folks on the home front and our troops in the trenches, seas and skies during World War II. Graduates, helping your neighbors is as American as apple pie. You can look throughout our history and you can see time after time after time again where our country has helped one another and put those 3 small, simple words that are so powerful into practice: loving their neighbor. The Civilian Conservation Corps, created in 1933 to combat unemployment. The Federal Housing Administration, created in 1934 to combat the housing crisis of the Great Depression. Social Security, federal education funding, the Food and Drug Administration, the Homeowners Loan Corporation, which saved over 1 million homes from foreclosure in 1933 to 1935, the Public Works Administration, the Works Progress Administration, which created roads, buildings, and other projects, including the elementary school that helped shape me. Medicare, Medicaid, living wages, equal payment for women, workers' rights, paid family leave, maternity leave, blocking insurance companies from denying care to your loved ones because they have a pre-existing condition. And we could go on and on and on about the examples of how our country has put into practice those 3 simple words: love thy neighbor. Graduates, I have no doubt that you will accomplish many amazing, great things. But when you do, remember to help other people get those boots too. The second challenge I want to leave you with this evening is something I learned from a professor that stuck with me. It's going to be a difficult challenge to juggle work, family, community involvement, your charity work, your church life, relationships with your friends. When I was working as a legislator, a banker, a professor, all while finding out I was going to have twin girls, my wife was going to have twin girls, being a husband, completing another graduate degree, you know what I found out when I tried to balance them all together? I was a C-plus banker. I was a C-plus professor. I was a C-plus legislator. I was a C-plus dad, C-plus father, and a C-plus student. My professor gave me one of the most powerful pieces of advice. See, he'd been a 20-year professor at the Wharton School of Business. He had a national syndicated radio show. He'd written books, written articles, had several children, one of whom had developmental disabilities. He told me to eliminate the word balance from my vocabulary altogether, because when you try to balance it all, try to give equal time to everything, it doesn't work. See, sometimes your spouse is going to need 100% of your time. Sometimes your kids are going to need 100% of your time. Sometimes work's going to need 90% of your time, or your civic involvement's going to need a good proportion of your time. The word that you need to replace balance with is finding the harmony between it all. Finding the harmony between work and home. The harmony between community involvement and your work life and your home life. Finding the harmony between all those things will be a key to success. In summary, if you don't remember anything else that I say this evening, remember 4 words. Love thy neighbor, harmony. This is a unique moment in history where a tidal wave of justice can rise up and hope and history rhyme. We can make hope and history rhyme through loving our neighbors and finding harmony within ourselves and within our relationship with the people that we encounter. I want to leave you with a poem from Seamus Heaney that's often quoted by President-elect Biden, The Cure of Troy. Human beings suffer. They torture one another. They get hurt and get hit hard. No poem or play or song can fully right a wrong inflicted or endured. History says, don't hope on this side of the grave, but then once in a lifetime, the longed tidal wave of justice can rise up, and hope and history can rhyme. So hope for a great sea change on the far side of revenge. Believe that a further shore is reachable from here. Believe in miracles and cures and healing wells. Call miracles self-healing, the utter self-revealing, double take of feeling. If there's fire on a mountain and lightning and storm and a God speaks from the sky, that means someone is hearing the outcry and the birth cry of a new life at its term. It means once in a lifetime that justice can rise up and hope and history rhyme. Graduates, do your best to spread hope, spread love, love your neighbors, find harmony between work and home, and you will make everybody that you come in contact with proud and a better person, and our country a better place. May God bless you. Stay safe. May God bless and keep your families, and may God guide and direct your steps.
Thank you, Eric. Representative Proctor. It's a tradition here that we present a special gift to commemorate your speaking to the December class of 2020. But I will hold this up because this is a display case, but what you can see, students, graduates, that it's really the seal, a mini version of the seal that the president wears at all official celebrations like this. From afar, you can see the gonfalons, the flags, and you'll see that in that there are 2 dates. In the center, you're going to see the date of 1846, and at the bottom, you're going to see 1909. 1846, September 26, 1846, is when the Cherokee Council passed an act that created the original Cherokee female seminaries that later on became who we are. 1909 is when it became Northeastern State College, and then Teachers College, and then NSU. So you will get this seal. It's bronze, it's heirloom, and on the back there's an inscription that marks time in your presentation. So on behalf of NSU, thank you for being with us. We're proud of your accomplishments. If you'll come over here, I'm actually going to give it to you this time, and we'll do a photo. So Come right here, sir. One more round of applause for our speaker. I got gloves on.
Thank you, Mr. Proctor, for those inspiring remarks. It is time to present candidates for master's degrees. Each candidate will be recognized on stage. After all candidates are recognized individually, President Turner will confer degrees. Dr. Carrie Keller will present the candidates and announce names. Faculty, at this time, I will ask if you concur with these recommendations for degrees. If so, would you please rise? Thank you. Please be seated.
Good evening. I'm Carrie Keller, Dean of the Graduate College. President Turner, I'm pleased to present these candidates upon whom the master's degree will be conferred. Master's candidates, please come forward. Anna Turner, honors. Eric Peterson. Seth Clark. Kristen Michelle Malden. Congratulations. Misha K. Ann Bordowski. Catherine Leanne Anton, honors. Tegan Dreyer, honors. Caitlin Weiss. Megan Rayanne Walker. Nisi M. Joycuddy. Stephanie Michelle Martin. Braulio Aguilar. Ian Phillips, honor. Mikkel Lawson. William John Ripon. Carrie Storms, honors. Katie Watkins, honors. Christopher Lee Staten. Beverly Spriggs. Paula K. Harold. Thank you. Shane Skula. Spencer Morris. Hey. Sydney Nichols. Meg Smith. Hold just a second. Maribel Fisher. Brandy Schlaman. Kathleen May Berrigan, honors. Sheila Workman, honors. Michelle Lynn Shell. Noah Nofire. Thank you. Brianna Youngst, honors. Cheryl Lee Castles, honors. Jennifer Russell, honors. Tasman Houston. Elizabeth Capito Hamby, honors. Jeanette Manis. Micah Allison. Jennifer Howe Wright, honors. Jasmine Nicole Baker. Samantha Jean Stewart, honors. Amy Rachel Douglas Harward. Lisa Michelle Rector. Lee Vu. Cameron Vonwald, honors. Rory Bean. Savannah Primo. John Offit. Trista Vaughn. Russell D. Robinson. Nicole Marie Baker. Kaylee Ray Kelly. Molly Juarez. Christopher Bennett, honors. Andrea Anna Wolf. Haley Beth Landers. Danny Lamb. Joanne Ma. Ching Ying Liu. Haley Edwards. Emily Herod. Casey Amanda Melee. Ivory Solomon. Melanie Ivy, honors. Rachel Shao Lee Akara Dulu.
Students, it is time for the conferring of degrees. Will all master's degree candidates please rise? President Turner, pending the results of a final degree audit, I certify that the candidates standing before you have completed all requirements for the master's degree respectively, and I recommend that the degree to which they are individually entitled be conferred.
Thank you, Dr. Landry. Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Board of Regents of the Regional University System of Oklahoma, and by the authority vested in me by the state of Oklahoma, it is my pleasure to confer upon each of you the master's degree as printed in the program with all of the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities such a degree carries among scholars. Now the good part, other than when you heard your name called, right? Graduates, there's a tradition in higher education that signifies the passage from being a student candidate for graduation to becoming a graduate. At this time, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side. Please be seated.
Graduates, as you know, Northeastern State University has a long history of service to Oklahoma. Our alumni have accomplished great things in their professional and personal lives. Today, you're joining this distinguished group, and we are here as your partner as you begin this chapter in your life. Here to explain the benefits of membership in the Alumni Association is Daniel Johnson, NSU's Director of Alumni Relations.
So just moments ago now, President Turner conferred upon you your master's degree. And if you were paying attention, and I know that you were, you heard that he said your degree carried with it certain rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities. In the brief time that I have with you this evening, I want to expand on these rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities. Because of your efforts and perseverance over the last number of years, you have earned the right to call yourself a graduate of Northeastern State University. And today, you join the ranks of over 60,000 living alumni who make up what we refer to as the Green and White Network. And because you've earned this right to call yourself an NSU alumnus, the Alumni Association will always strive to keep you connected with NSU and with each other. You and your fellow graduates have earned the rank of a Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science, and in achieving your rank, you've done something that less than 15% of the U.S. population has done in earning an advanced degree. And because of this, more doors will be open to you now, and you'll have access to greater opportunities. Of course, there are no certainties in life, but without a doubt, you have positioned yourself for greater success because of your rank. You can imagine the privileges that come along with an advanced degree, but I want to specifically focus on the privilege of being a member of the Alumni Association. Alumni Association members are entitled to perks and benefits, including exclusive invitations, discounts on insurance, health care, and through our Green and White Perks program, you can save some real money on everything from travel to entertainment, shopping, and more. And I trust that you're perfectly aware that we will be sending you more information about how to become a member of the Alumni Association. But I do hope that you will take advantage of the privilege of staying connected with NSU through Alumni Association membership. Rights, ranks, privileges, and the most important one, responsibilities. As a Northeastern State graduate, you now share in the responsibility of adding value to the NSU degree. Adding value to the NSU degree. You may be wondering, how do I do this? Let me share 4 thoughts with you on how you can add value. First, become excellent at what you do. Second, be worth more than you cost. Third, do what you say you're going to do. And last, outwork everyone. If you do these 4 things, you will certainly be upholding your responsibility to add value to the NSU degree. Those who have been a part of getting you here today are no doubt very proud of your achievement, and I'm sure you feel that pride of what you've accomplished. Now, as you close this chapter of your life at NSU, show your pride by living your life in such a way that you fulfill the promise of your college degree. Your degree from Northeastern State University with all its rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations, greener days are ahead, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. As we come to the close of our ceremony, please listen carefully to these directions to facilitate a safe and smooth exit from the arena. In just a moment, we will ask you to stand for the NSU Alma Mater. Freeman de Graffenried, a criminal justice major, will sing the Alma Mater, first in Cherokee, recognizing NSU's historic significance as the Cherokee National Female Seminary. Then we ask all audience members to join Michaelin Reyes-Sosi in singing the English lyrics. Both Freeman and Michaelin will be accompanied by the NSU Brass Quintet. Following the Alma Mater, ushers will guide students out, alternating routes through the east and west entrances of the arena and then outside. Faculty and the platform party will be dismissed after graduates have left the arena. Now, please stand for the Alma Mater.
Jigi Nigo Hilages Esti Adela Quasti Alleluia Godai Ani Jalagi Nidayudalena Ijiki Juna della Quasti Ijala Quoresti Our alma mater, forever may you live. Knowledge and freedom with truth you gladly give. Roots from the Cherokees and promises for a future. O Northeastern State.